The transfer window is finally closed. It's been closed for a day or two, so now we can peacefully look at the ins and outs of personnel in Chelsea Football Club and see what it really means for this season ahead. Welcome back to FFB, amigos. And today we're going to jump right into this. And I think, you know, for us Chelsea fans, we love watching our content, our consumers, and I'm a huge fan of most of these guys, and they inspired me to do this. But how many videos could you have watched on Gittens coming in and out, or some random people that were really not going to have an impact on the team? So it's been exhausting. So I just saved the energy. Let's go into it straight, not let's waste time. Who's been in, who's been out? Let's start with people that arrived, because that's the ones that made the headlines mostly, right? Because we didn't lose anything. We'll talk about one or two that were interesting. But first, we have João Pedro. He's our one of the darlings that have come in this year. He came in halfway towards the end of the World Cup, gave us goals. He's looking good. He can play in the 10, he can play in the 9. We love him. Looks like we love him. I don't understand in the last game why we put him as a 10 and not a 9 when Delap was out and we needed a 9 and we put Tyreek George there instead. But that's the madness that we'll make in another video and figure out that number 9 situation. But no bueno. Thank God we have João Pedro, which is not an out and out 9, but he can certainly do it. Things that we used to say about Jackson, but weren't all that true. We can do some functions, but not put it in the back of the net as much as we needed to. And we have João Pedro scoring headers. It looks like he can do it. We love you, João Pedro. 63.70 million. Then Gittens is the tricky one, because that wing became a little tricky in the end. And I think he's a good player. Nothing to call home about. Nothing exciting, in my opinion. Let's see what he does. I'm not that happy about it. Garnacho, Alejandro Garnacho. This guy gives me so many bad vibes. Hermano Argentino, we're gonna we're gonna support the living crap out of you. We're gonna love you. We're gonna give you a chance. But this is the kind of player that I'm a little scared about. Even the vibes. He's got some evil scarecrow vibes and a little bit of the dark side, which I'm terrified of the locker room, which a lot of people have been discussing this when it comes to him. That could be somebody that could be a little bit troublesome for in terms of discipline and in the locker room. And that's the only thing I'm scared about, because I actually believe he's a young, talented player. And I think we got him for the right price. I think we didn't get him for the right reasons, but it was an opportunity. We took it. I'm in. I will be supporting you. Hato, to me, that was a whole problem with the center back situation. I'm gonna bring this up now because I'll never have a chance. I've been crying. I've mentioned in other videos to my fans, and of course, I have the Ecuadorian heritage. But I was dying to get Piero Hincapié, which is now Hincapié, as they probably say now in England. He is now an Arsenal player on loan. He was in the right target of youth. He can play really well out from the back. He was in that amazing Xavi Alonso team, and where he not only played in the left side of a middle three, which is something Chelsea really needs, but actually would cover in at left back. He does really well with ball progression. He can be an attacking center back at times, bring the ball higher up the field. And I brought this up in at one of the lives. I'm not going to say who, and they were like, "Why do we need another center back and a left-footed center back?" Well, this is why what we're happening right now. But in any case, this kid looks like he can do that to the center back. He can cover left back, although nobody can cover like Kukureya, or rarely anybody. Ironically, in the outgoings, we'll see somebody that I don't understand what happened there. He's not that old, but we'll get into it. And interesting. Then again, a good price. Liam Delap. I love this purchase. I am so horrified he got hurt immediately. And people are talking about the amounts of games. Again, another topic for another video. I have a different view on that. Like, they're making him play too much. I don't believe that. I think it's down to coaching, it's squad rotation, which Chelsea's going to do, and a lot of it is luck. A lot of it is luck. But we'll don't kill me yet. We'll talk about that. Happy of the lap. He bullies players. He does the runs, old school type 9. He pins down center backs, runs in behind them, does wide takes players wide when he has to open space for midfielders coming in behind him. Absolutely excited, really excited to have him. And the star, Estevão Willian. Estevão, don't y'all call him Steve. I hear you guys doing that. Don't do that. Estevão Willian. Learn his name. Learn his name because he's going to be a star. We didn't call Neymar Ned because we couldn't say Neymar, right? And we have the hope that it'll be that Neymar. And I have more hope for him than I have of others that we're going to talk about, youngsters that Chelsea have bought or are currently, loaned out. That we have that people always say these Messi comparisons, Neymar comparisons. I don't like them, especially because the world is not friendly to those kind of players anymore, especially coming up. This kid has got the goods. He faces, he attacks, he terrorizes. Come in wide. He can cut in, he can shoot, he can finish, he can cross. It seems I'm not that sure in terms of Chelsea. I've seen him put in a couple really well, but what the most exciting thing about him is he grabs the ball, and I'm on the edge of my. I'm like, okay, he's gonna take off on a run. Something's gonna happen. So excited. Amazing price. Got in there. He is the MB of everybody that wanted a young player. Endrick was the more famous one at the time when they were speaking of both from coming out of Brazil. Pero no. Estevão Willian turns out seems really good. And Dario Estugo, I love this player. Uh, Looks like a solid midfielder. I think right price, right position. We need a depth because apparently we're getting rid of all these other players that we got rid of. And I'm assuming he could do a similar job as a third, fourth midfielder instead of Dewsbury Hall, for example, that left, or coverage for Lavia if he's injured. He seems like he's solid. He's confident. I like that. Mamadou Sarr, I don't have much to say there. Kendry Paez, this one I can really speak of. Y'all need to stop. When I'm from Ecuador, and I'm telling you, this kid had a huge moment a couple of years ago, and he was doing great, and everybody's like, "Oh man, he's the next Messi." I hate those words. Or okay, he was never going to be the next Messi, but he was already playing for his national team and played a couple of games really well. He was playing Copa Libertadores. He was playing at the highest level in Ecuador at 16 years old. It looked amazing. He was bossing it in the field. That disappeared, died quickly. They caught him at it's not his fault he's 16, but some senior players took him out. Everybody saw that. Some off the field nonsense when he was in the US, which didn't fare very well for him. He thought he was coming back to Chelsea. Apparently, he didn't show or prove the goods. His performance dipped drastically in Ecuador after that sort of high spot that he had. So I don't have my hopes up for him at all whatsoever. I don't expect anything. I don't think he would come into the Chelsea the way he's playing now, or the level he's at. He's not a Chelsea player. Can he potentially be? Hopefully, we'll see. Facundo Buenanote, I'm excited. To see that we bought another body when that news came in, but I don't think that's a body that we necessarily needed. It's a loan. It's weird. It's Brighton, which is really annoying. Fine. Caleb Wiley. Uh, I have nothing to say about that. I don't know enough. I'm a huge Mark Yu fan, guys. I'm a huge Mark Yu fan. I'm so upset about what happened, and we'll talk about it, I think, when we get into the Jackson thing. This guy ended up getting screwed too. Sunderland would have been good for him. He would have gotten the minutes, but now with everything that's happening, maybe he'll get him. We just, it's not really an arrival. It's a departure arrival and within hours, it seems, but I'm glad to have him back. And I heard we recalled David Washington. I don't get it. I don't know what for. I don't know where he's going to move. Just interesting. Santos is not doing that well, as far as I understand. We'll see. Now departures. Let's get into it. Noni Madueke. I'm fine with him leaving. I'm fine with him leaving. I think he had a couple of years in Chelsea. We gave him a lot of minutes. At times he showed like he could be something, but he didn't have the last touch to finish. He would scare people because he would face them head on, as Estevão Willian does, but wasn't effective. So I believe. I think he can do some damage at Arsenal, although I haven't seen him. I watched a couple of Arsenal games so far this season. Not worried. And Kunku, I'm so happy for him, and I'm so happy for us. We couldn't have any more in Kunku, so I'm very glad he's leaving. Low price, 37 million. We had him injured for a year when he just got there, and he was this huge hope, which we'll talk about that because this other player coming up too, Joao Felix Van Nazar, that was a great one. That was a great move, and I'm happy for him that he's going to be able to collect some more money. But I think it's sad those two players didn't work out. Not a surprise. And we'll talk. We're going to do a video about the ownership later because I think everybody's kind of excited right now. I have a different point of view. So look out for that. Petrovic, this is a sad one to me because I think he was a good keeper and I don't think we have something necessarily better, but good for him. Everything on the departures, we made 332 million something according to this chart, and apparently that's a record. But I'm not sure we should be proud of that. That's going to be in the conversation of the record. But it was certainly necessary now because we were loaded with players and we needed to get rid of them. On the other side, we saw that we spent 328 million of incomings, which is a little tricky, but it's good financial business in any case. And Chelsea have now a great reputation for buying. Before they had one for being very aggressive. We stole players. We stole William from Spurs. We were able to bring Balak, a lot of international captains in the back. We've been great negotiators now. And it seems like we have a little fame for twisting, turning profit, but that could be a little tricky. Uchuku, sad to see him go. I think that he had potential, but I think he'll do well at Burnley. Keenan Dewsbury Hall at Everton. That's really exciting. I think with Grealish there, they can do something really fun, and I really wish him well. I think that's the kind of player that I like having in my team. I'm sad that he left, but we have this young people model, and I don't love it. I don't love the everybody young people model because you need players like him that'll come in when you have lower opposition to see out games, to play some cup games, and he did really well every time that he came in. The team is not all 28 stars or 23 stars or whatever that you have on the bench and reserves. You have to players that come in and play. A la James Milner being 75 years old, coming in, closing out games, even scoring goals. So you need some old guys there. You need some players that are just solid, hard workers and understand the tactics of the coach really well, like he did. Fine. Renato Vega, it's a tricky one. I don't know why he dissed London and Chelsea. There was actually an opportunity there where he could have covered the center back, left back sort of position, but I was never really a fan. I didn't see him as an amazing player. He could have been a coverage player, but that I think I wish him really really well. I think he did right by us. Armando Broja, man, that was a big hope for us in solid old school nine. I think he was on the up and up until he got that injury and he's gone. So I just wish him well. And Chukwemeka, end of loan. Oh, end of loan. So then he's being sold. Great team for him to beat. That's the right place to be. That's the right place if you're a young player in the world, I would say. Nico Jackson, Bayern Munich. Embarrassing, horrible we did there. What we did to him, I don't know. You can have the gall to try to call the guy off a plane. I don't know the details. Honestly, I don't care. That's the kind of stuff that I hate when it comes to football and business and this kind of thing. So I apologize for Nico Jackson. Thank you for your service. We did an amazing deal, whatever happens, whether that loan fulfills or not. Because if he gets enough minutes over there, I think we'll find a solution either way. And I think the way the contract's set up, it's going to execute because they won't pay that much for a loan. It's really high. We'll see. Amu, again, don't have much to say. Excited to see him. Humphreys, don't have much to say. Arizabalaga to Arsenal. Thanks. That's all I can say. But it's insane. 5.8, right? I think we got him for 70 something. It was like probably still the record for a goalkeeper, unless I don't know what happened with Donnarumma and all this like last minute, but definitely insane. Bettinelli, dude, love that guy. Sort of unnecessary, but I guess we're gonna bring in a 12-year-old or something, and we have 1,000 keepers and all stuff. So I don't know. Alfie Gilchrist, I like those kind of players to go on loan, actually, but okay, we'll see. Bergstrom, not much to say. Chilwell, this is the one I want to talk about. The dude's not that old. He was an England player. He was a scoring, attacking right wing back. A lot of insane things. I'd like to know one day. I want to know one day when it happened, because after the injury or whatever, he came back. We were able to bring James back. Not to say they're at the same level, but he was one of the best left backs in the world. Again, not top two, I'm saying, but he was really up there. He scored goals for us. Yeah, he's just an amazing player, to be honest. And I'd like to know more. I'd like to know why Maresca got in there and just kicked him out of the team like immediately. And the guy's been eating bench for 2 or 3 years, which is so sad to me for a football player. I don't like that we do that to players. Finally, now to Strasbourg, which I wonder what that feels like for him. But I hope it just gives him some minutes to enjoy his career. He's still in a good place. If he's not injured too much, he's young enough to have a few years left in him. So I wish him well. Gyu, again, he's in the departures, which is insane because he's also in the entries. And you guys, I know I'm a fan. And now these kids that are Penders Paez are going to Strasbourg. Again, we saw him on the in, but also going out, which is very confusing. Now, Blue Kobeis players, we had this player, I even forget who it is, but now that the corporation owns and then they decide where they go, kind of insanity. And finally, Anselmino, that I'm really pissed off about. And I was on a live with Josh Avesti, which I adore and respect. And I mentioned also, like, we shouldn't be doing that to players. We pulled them out of Boca Juniors, and he was like, "Oh, if you expected them to play, then I don't know, you're crazy." That's not the point. We pulled him. I think it was like close to halfway through their season. He was playing starting because what I'm saying is like, fine, you want to buy him, leave him. There's very few places in the world where to become a badass as playing a center back for Boca Juniors with that insane stadium every week in and out to develop until you then push to a Strasbourg or to Europe or whatever. But when we had that center back situation and we brought Chalba back, we also brought him, and he's been in the reserves forever without minutes, not even in, he could have been playing in the championship or he could have been playing in Argentina or somewhere else. So finally, and what an amazing place to go again, Borussia Dortmund. So really excited. That's the lowdown, amigos. More videos to come. I apologize I didn't make the videos for the last couple of matches. I was traveling, but now, as you can see, I'm back in my FFB studio and excited to start making more and more videos, more and more content. Lives are coming this year. I promise you lives this year, more than last year, which I only did a couple more. We have Champions League this year. So I'm going to be making live Champions League videos. I hope. So excited. Amazing games. We'll talk more about that. But that's all for now. Don't want to keep it that long. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Blues.